So the assembly area here at Macau is once more full of GT cars, this time GT4 cars, and slightly infuriatingly they're going to have to sit there for a little bit longer because the session has been delayed and is going to finish on time. In other words, therefore it's been shortened as well as delayed because there's been some spillage in the earlier road sport session which needs treating, and it's a very, very tight timetable today, so the drivers are sort of wrapping through as best they can the sessions, but if there are stoppages then it does affect the day, especially given that the roads have to open at 6 o'clock. Now, this is the Greater Bay Area GT Cup for GT4 cars. It's also the last round, and it's the first time it's been a championship round, of the new for this year SRO GT Cup, which is a China-based GT4 series. They have two races supporting the Chinese Grand Prix at the start of the year. They went to the Pingtan Lake International Circuit, they went to the streets of Beijing, and they've all been double headers. This is a single race. The championships have already been decided. The winner of the Silver Cup is Anneli Chow, and the winner of the AM Cup is Moritz Berenberg. However, that is not to suggest for a moment that we're not going to have an interesting race, because it's been a good season, and we have a good entry as well going into this with the cars all parked ready to go. David Addison and Alan Hyde are trackside. We got very excited early on in the day about GT3 cars. Well, these are GT4. There are more of them, and there's great variety as well, Alan.
Including Mercedes, which don't feature in the GT Cup, the FIA GT World Cup this year, but we do have Mercedes in the lineup. We're just looking at Lei Kit Meng, who is one of those drivers ever present at the Macau Grand Prix in one or other of the forms of racing, and last year he was competing in the Road Sport Challenge. He was winner in the Road Sport Challenge, so moves across now to GT4 for this weekend. It's the number 89 car that we're looking at of Cao Tu Lung in the Level Motorsports Toyota, and just having those final preparations. So a thumbs up from inside the cockpit, but we've got 5 minutes less of this session than we had originally planned, as David was saying. So 25 minutes, they've got to make it count, haven't they? This is Ti Chang Ta, who is just getting himself ready, balaclava on, and preparing to get into the 58 Mercedes AMG.
A Level Motorsports car, and there is Yang Meng Chow with one of the Aston Martins, another brand that we only see in GT4 here this weekend. So Ginetta, Lotus, BMW, Mercedes, Toyota, McLaren, KTM, Audi, Aston Martin. It's a great variety of brands.
I was thinking, you've gone down the road now, you have to make sure you get every one of them, and there are plenty of them, aren't there?
Yeah.
Very impressive, this, a great lineup. Once again on A4, two sides of A4 for the entry to this. It's going to be impressive this weekend. It means so much, doesn't it, to all of these drivers being able to compete on the gear circuit here at Macau, which is only in operation for 4 days every year, apart from every 10th year when we have 2 weekends of racing. That's a real overload treat of racing over 2 weekends to celebrate the decades of the Macau Grand Prix. That's one of the Lotus.
Yeah, that's right. That's Daniel Liu's car, and Daniel Liu won the first race in, sorry, he was runner-up, I should say, in the first race in Shanghai, but he did win in Beijing in race 1 there. Daniel Liu, who was the 2021 Carrera Cup Asia champion, raced in Formula 4 and then moved to GT cars. They've got Kwok Wei Ming with his Mercedes AMG GT4. And 67 is Kan Che Wei's Ginetta, the Ginetta G55 that he drives. Been a regular in the GT4 race over the years. That car run by the 778 Autosport team.
away from the camera, and a thumbs up as well. And so too from the promotional team that are here throughout the weekend and parade up and down throughout the paddock over the course of this weekend, advertising the various sponsors and partners of the event over the course of every Macau Grand Prix weekend, and that all adds to the colour and the glitz and the sense of occasion that we have in the paddock.
When we were at Suzuka a couple of months ago, a similar thing was there in the paddock, and I'm reliably informed that they're not known as promotional girls or big girls, they are trophy queens.
Okay.
And that is how they are to be.
Is it?
It is, you know, a thing, and it's appears in timetables. The trophy queens will do. So that apparently is the terminology.
I'm going to write that on my enduring plan of the circuit.
Okay.
Which comes back year after year.
As does this man, Miguel Ley, with the Audi, who works at the Grand Lisboa Palace. So he's about as local as you can get.
It doesn't get any more local, does it?
No. Quick driver, but lives and works in Macau. And the place he works sponsored the car, and it's very much keeping it in the family. Now, behind Darrell Young's car is some sort of bird. I vaguely remember this from last year, and I at this point head to my consultant on these matters. What's the character? Is it a puffin or something?
Yes, I think you're right. I was getting confused. I thought it might have been the chicken, which is called Sam.
Oh, okay.
Who features over at the Scalextric podium on the walk-in in the morning.
Right.
But no, that wasn't a chicken, was it?
No.
Silly me.
Yeah. Easy mistake. Lau Kim Hao's Janetta, the next one that we come to. But it's a good entry, and it's been a very, very good maiden season for this latest SRO championship. Number 29 there is Ivan Ho with the McLaren 570S. And the enthusiasm absolutely bounces out the car, doesn't it? I mean, look, absolutely hyper these guys, ready to go.
Effervescent, absolutely effervescent inside the cars. That's number 2, which is Brian Lai, who is one of the regulars here at Macau, getting himself ready, opting for dark glasses inside the car, clear visor, dark glasses.
Calvin Leung in the BMW M4, winner here in 2013 and 2015 in the Macau Touring Car and Road Sport Challenge titles he's won.
6th last year in this Greater Bay Area GT Cup race, and 5th in 2023. So that's one of the cars to watch out for. You can't miss it, can you? It's one of the liveries that they choose many years here at Macau. It really does stand out. That purple and day-glow yellow is really very synonymous with the support races here at Macau for the Song Ven racing team. For as long as I've been coming, they've been competing in those team colours.
So the paddock gate will open to let the cars onto the circuit. They don't go down the pit lane, they start from the assembly area, which is also the paddock. So as they are queued up and others are trying to get in, it does get very busy, because if you look one side in that paddock, you've got the back of the permanent garages. So as you look now on the right, that's the back of the garages where the Formula Regional single-seaters are, and on the left are the temporary garages in which the GT3 cars are. So the paddock's a pretty busy place. At the best of times, they can sort of clog up the middle with a grid of cars. Right, I think we are almost good to go. Clock's heading towards 13:40.
In a very busy assembly area, isn't it?
Yeah.
And those air horns that you hear in the background are really absolutely vital to get the right of way cleared, because there are so many people down here, team personnel and all those trophy queens down in the assembly area, and we need to get clear passage so the cars can make their way out onto the circuit, albeit 5 minutes later for the start of this session, that they've got 25 minutes of free practice today, and they won't be qualifying. So we just saw the Macau Road Sports. They are qualifying and free practice as well today, but the GT4 cars, just this one session, 25 minutes. They have to make it count. They qualify tomorrow morning at 10 minutes past 11 local time. But with a windy Macau, the clock is on and GT4 cars are released onto the circuit.
So out they pour, and the final championship round of the SRO GT Cup is the Greater Bay Area GT Cup for GT4 cars. 21 down the pit road, or the assembly road, is Wang Hao's Toyota GR Supra. Been racing in the Toyota Gazoo Racing GR86 Cup in China this season. Oh, KTM, did I mention KTM?
Yes, you did.
Lu Ti Ren's
that
car.
was the one I thought you'd miss. I was waiting for it.
Pretty quirky car, the KTM. If we see it in the pit lane, but the way the bodywork operates, it goes up and forward rather than having a straightforward door, and then the driver has to thread themselves out through the cage, and it's not the work at the moment.
Last minute livery for that car, because yesterday it was pure white, and today it's now orange and a sort of a creamy colour wrap on that car, but always it's a car that as you walk past it, you do a double take. It's an extraordinary car, the Crossbow GT4 Evo car, and great to have it on the grid for our Greater Bay Area GT Cup for GT4 cars this year.
The BMW still looks very touring car-like, but has been a very, very good GT4 car.
For a long time.
Yeah, precisely so. Very competitive. Aston Martin goes by, and it'll take a few minutes before we get onto a flying lap, but key to the session really is keeping out of trouble, keeping it off the wall and keeping the session alive, so you can get a proper rhythm of laps, because 25 minutes, half an hour, which was the original plan, you think, well, you can get a lot of time in there, but it's a long lap at 6 kilometres.
It's an hour lap,
yeah, you lose 4 or 5 minutes with an hour lap, then you've got to get a flying lap done. And if people start bouncing off the barriers and causing stoppages, then it all becomes a bit of a mess. And there's our first drama. Janetta number 55 is in strife. That is Kenny Chung's car. He's been another regular in this over the years.
Yeah, 19th last year in this race, qualified in 24th place, so made good places up in the race. Quite a few Janettas feature on this grid. I don't think there's any particular dominant car, but you make a really good point about the BMW M4 GT4 car. It has been at the forefront of GT4 racing around the world for, goodness me, probably a decade.
Yeah, it's probably close on that.
It's probably close to a decade.
Yeah, and successful, whether it's been in the Pan-European GT4 series or domestic championships. Right, it's all getting a bit slow on the way down to the Melco hairpin, but I think this is because drivers now want the traffic ahead to disappear, so they are prepared to stack up the cars behind. Busy down at the R bend. Moritz Berenberg's Cayman goes through, the McLaren almost being terrorised out of the way there of Wang Chengtou.
I thought it was going to take the escape road into the pit lane on that occasion. There was nowhere for it. Finished 17th in the race last year, that car. Wang Chengtou in the LW World Racing Team McLaren. 15 car, that is Chen Chung Hua in the Level Motorsports Mercedes AMG.
And there is
the
Janetta that is still stranded. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That's a worry, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because it's on the move, but slowly. I think they've given him time to try and get the car fired up. It looks like it has just about got away. The Mercedes there finding a really dusty part of the circuit. So through turns Chen Chunhua in the Mercedes AMG, another experienced driver who's had the occasional foray in Europe, did the Spa 25-hour Fun Cup race a few years back. So we'll see lap times start to be posted at the end of the lap that the Mercedes AMG is on.
just had a purple sector for the 33 car, and that's Hanley Chow in the Toyota. Yes.
That's coming out of Lisboa.
It is.
Another Ginetta, I fear, that has ground to a halt.
It's not in a good place, that, is it?
No, but an odd place if it's bounced off the barrier.
It is, yeah.
Anyway, hopefully, again, that can fire up and get moving. Sorry, you were saying.
I don't remember.
It was good. Chen Chunhua, he says, salvaging it all. Comes then, the Chinese Taipei driver, out of Macau hairpin, back onto the power down the hill, and eager to get a lap in, just in case anything's lurking in the system. I think I've seen everything now.
Go on.
Well, I know this doesn't make for great telling you what you can't see, but just bear with me. Opposite us is the rostrum on which the marshal with the checkered flag stands.
Yes.
He's also got 2 policemen with speed guns stood with him. I'm convinced they are trying to monitor the speed of cars as they come over the line. It might be for academic interest, but...
Or is it into pit lane?
Well, no, because they're not on the... They can't monitor the pit lane because they're not in it.
No.
Well, they're police rather than marshals. So, I think for academic interest, you've got people monitoring the speed of cars as they come over the line. Anyway.
I think you're right.
It's something extra, something different.
It is.
While all that's been going on...
Not seen that before.
No, Chen Chunhua has gone fastest, 2 minutes 39. Darryl O'Young is a man to watch in this, as ever. Very experienced driver is Darryl. Bouncing over the bump for Lotus there. That's
red flag.
Oh dear, yeah, that'll be for the Ginetta, won't it? That's the car of Daniel Liu, the Lotus bouncing up and down. But the session is stopped, and what have we got? 18.5 minutes.
Yeah, in a already shortened session, and the clock will continue to count down during this recovery for that Ginetta over on the right-hand side on the barriers on the run towards San Francisco.
Have we worked out which Ginetta it is yet? It's not Brian Lai's car, is it? No. Multicoloured one, at least. But, yeah, frustration as the session has to be stopped.
I wonder if it's Lake Kit Meng's car.
Oh, OK. Might be.
It may be.
I'd like another look at it to see whether it's got much damage from bouncing off the wall or whether it may purely be that it's a mechanical drama.
We didn't get all of the liveries yesterday for the GT4 cars, only because not all of the cars were there yet, and not all of the cars were liveried and wrapped ready for the weekend. But I know certainly Lake Kit Meng's car has got a bit of pink and a bit of purple on it, that's for sure. And I think that Ginetta that's stricken has got a bit of pink and a bit of purple on it, so it may well be that that's the car we have that requires recovery.
The RPM Racing Team car. He is the team. He owns the team, Lake Kit Meng, who we saw years ago racing in British Formula 3. He did the Macau Grand Prix for at least 7 seasons. Got 10th one year in the Formula 3 Grand Prix back in 2001. So, experienced driver, but with a problem.
That was one of the Ginettas that had a problem, wasn't it? The 55 car, Kenny Chung.
It was, yeah.
That car back in pit lane, which is good news, and back to the team as well, so they can have a good look over that car, make sure everything is okay with the car, checking the wing mirror on the right-hand side of the car. Everybody else onwards towards pit lane. This is really important time that they're going to be losing down the pit lane. I was rather hoping once it was shortened to 25 minutes that they were going to be able to go without any interruptions, but sadly that's not the case. I was going to say, I remember what I was going to say, it was about Darryl O'Young, who is out on circuit in the with the GT4s this weekend. Currently with only one flying lap completed in 15th place, 17th place, but he had gone purple in the middle sector, that's sector 3, one of the vital sectors of the gear circuit here at Macau. Session will be resumed at 13:53, which is around about 3 or 4 minutes away local time, just coming up to 10 minutes to 2 in the afternoon. Number 95 is Darryl O'Young, who we were just talking about, who's gone purple in sector 2.
Interesting just watching those last cars coming to the pit lane, weaving around to try and get the warmth into the tyre. the more warmth there, the longer it might remain in. So even though they're having to come into the pit lane, they're still trying to get temperature into the tyres so that while they're in the pit lane, and hopefully they won't be stationary for that long, there's a little bit of extra temperature that is in there. They'll be better placed for the resumption. Everybody else that's in the pit lane, tyres are getting cooler and cooler and cooler, but the extra weaving on the way in, just trying to force a bit more warmth into the tyre.
So 15 minutes of the session remaining, just under now. It's just ticked over as GT4 cars make their way down into pit lane. Briefly saw the car of Yang Meng Chao in the Aston Martin. So many different cars. Need to add up how many different makes of car we've got in the Greater Bay Area GT Cup this year, but it's always very impressive. The 83 Porsche.
Moritz Berenberg's car. He's the AM champion, by the way.
And a look at the 27 car, which is Zhao Shiquan in the Toyota GR Supra GT4 car. Opportunity once again to see the drivers in their place of work for the weekend. That's Wang Hao, Toyota once again. Toyota Gazoo Racing China, the team running that car this weekend. And 23 is Wong Cheng To in the McLaren 570S GT4 car. Car pushed back. That's Wang Hao in the Toyota. Closed in, door closed. It's not going to be too long before we get this session back underway with 13.5 minutes remaining. And a look at the number 12 Mercedes as well of Fok Wai Meng in his AMG GT4 car, Team TRC entry. 20, that's Lu Wenlong, Daniel Lu in the Team Pegasus Lotus Emira. When I saw Lotus on the entry, I was minded about the first week of competition that we had in our 2 weeks here, and exceptional entry from 2 Lotus Emiras we had that year, and a very, very near miss moment down at Lisboa.
That's right, Adam Christodoulou was one of the drivers, wasn't he?
Was,
and it's a shame because that was a race that was stopped and not restarted quite early on, but it was
within a centimetre, I think. Yeah. So we get this session underway, cram them all down in pit lane, get them lined up, ready to go. And I think we almost are ready to go. Get the board down in pit lane. And green light. So pit lane open, things get back underway. Just under 12 minutes of this session remain, and the colourful grid of GT4 cars, now with cooler tyres once again, head back out onto the gear circuit here at Macau.
For just under 12 minutes, or if you prefer, just over 11.5 minutes. So
it's not long, is it?
No, 3 proper flying laps.
3.
Maybe. Yeah, not much time.
It is free practice, of course. So qualifying for them tomorrow morning, 11:10 tomorrow, over half an hour around the gear circuit to qualify tomorrow. But for now, we get this session back underway with number 15, top of the times, Chen Chong-Hua in the Mercedes AMG GT4 car, 8th last year, qualified in 13th place for the Greater Bay Area GT Cup race. That's the number 20, very impressive looking Lotus Emira of Daniel Lu. And we didn't get opportunity to finally identify that Ginetta that required recovery, did we? With a question mark over whether it was number 7, Lei Kit Meng.
Yeah, who didn't get to another sector, did he?
No, so I think it may have been.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Hanley Chow is the other man to keep an eye on as this year's champion, and he was second fastest before the stoppage in number 33 Toyota. So we're already down to 10 minutes to go as day one of the 72nd Macau Grand Prix weekend ticks on by. Touring cars, GT3 cars to come before qualifying for single-seaters and road sports to round out the day. So, oh no, another Ginetta in strife, and at this rate we're not going to get the session done at all, because it's Kenny Chung's car again, 55, that's clearly got a problem, the K2C Motorsport car, but Kenny Chung has stopped. That looks like it's within the first part of the lap before Lisboa.
Which we thought last time it had just stopped. It hadn't hit anything, it had just come to a stop, but got going again. They've had time to look at the car down in pit lane and check it over, but it's stopped again.
Why do I feel that it did something similar last year? I've got it in the back of my mind that there was a car that did similar things, kept expiring and going again and stopping.
I can't remember that. No, I'm sorry.
Anyway, we'll see whether
I'd love to help.
Yeah, thanks. We'll see whether there is the car, and it ain't moving. This is going to be another stoppage, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't look, maybe it's a little bit crinkled, but it's stationary on the racetrack, and it's a very, very fast part of the racetrack, that. So the race director keeping an eye to hope that the car fires up, but I'm really not convinced. And with 8.5 minutes on the clock, it's going to be a question mark as to whether, if it were stopped. Oh, no, it's the KTM getting going. Question mark as to whether, if it is stopped, it will ever restart again. Anyway, Hanley Chow has gone quicker than anybody within the first sector. Now, that's quite bold to do that, because if there's a car stranded and there's a yellow flag and you do an absolute best, that might not go down a storm with the officials.
Might not go down awfully well, might it? No, I think you might be right. And they're not really, if they have another stoppage, they're not really going to have had free practice, really, have they? No. 2 flying laps at most during this session.
KTM back down the pit lane of Lu Tiren, the Level Motorsports car. So Kenny Chung's car hopefully is on its way.
Hanley Chow has gone purple in Sector 1, purple in Sector 2 as well, and is on Sector 3 at the moment. That's the 33 car. Really pushing on.
Yeah, going nicely. A little bit wide maybe at Norwich Hill, but he makes the climb now up towards Donna Maria. It's another absolute best. That said, there's not much to base it against, and he's sort of first in the queue. Lake Hit Meng's Ginetta has just been revealed to us in the paddock, so it was that car that ground to a halt, causing red flag number 1, and no further news about the Kenny Chung car, so I'm hoping it has got moving again. Hanley Chow is going to go fastest, I think, given the way that this lap is being pieced together very impressively indeed.
We might see 5 purple sectors for Hanley Chow, which is going to be very impressive coming up towards the conclusion of the lap. It's been a lap in isolation, hasn't it? Really good news, but no, big red flag. So, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, and a really rather heavy frontal impact for the 67 car. That's the reason why. That's Kanchar Wei.
And he's not alone, because he's got the Mercedes of Chen Chunhua involved as well. Have those two got together? So big incident for, that's the end of the session. Number 15, number 67, Chen Chunhua's Mercedes and Kanchar Wei. Well, that was the session that never was.
We really got 2 flying laps and no more. And the unfortunate thing about this is we now have 2 rather damaged cars as well. That looked like quite a heavy frontal impact, doesn't it? So cars into pit lane for the Greater Bay Area GT Cup here at Macau for the 72nd running of the Macau Grand Prix. And that is perhaps, of all the sessions we've had today for the Macau Grand Prix, maybe the most frustrating session of the day so far.
Definitely, and it starts to make one wonder what can be done, because the less track time people have, the more incidents are likely. You can't keep extending the day. Let's have a look at how it all happened here. So we're looking down. The Ginetta just goes straight on, just locked up, and that's got a lot of damage at the front. So that was how we lost the car of Can Che Wei. And then the other incident for Chen Chunhua may well have been independent completely. So not the two getting involved, but two separate incidents.
I think you're right, yeah, and all part of pushing on really early after the resumption of the session.
That's very broken.
A really damaged car. That's sad to see, isn't it?
I wonder whether that was a failure rather than him just outbraking himself. Like, you know, the brakes didn't slow the car. Chen Chunhua has certainly hit something, as you can see on the front right. That is up near maternity, I think. So, two crumpled cars, but that Ginetta, I'm starting to wonder whether we might see that again or not, because that looked very broken to me.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, heavy impact. So that session is not going to be restarted. The Greater Bay Area GT Cup, very disappointing. Unpleasant scenes to look at there, with two cars damaged. That one, the 67 car, really quite badly damaged for the car of Can Che Wei. And once everyone is back into pit lane, that's when the recovery can begin to be effected down there for the 67 car, but at the moment they're still threading their way around back to pit lane.
They are indeed. So the car that's fastest is one of those that's caused the stoppage. Chen Chunhua with damage. Han Li Chao, don't think he ever got to quite finish the lap, did he? Second quickest, and then Daniel Liu third ahead of Moritz Berenberg, and fifth fastest is Yang Meng Chao. Sixth quickest was Kao Tzu Lung, and a little bit further down, Darrell Young only 18th. So I know it's not a representative order, but further back than you would anticipate to see Darrell Young. And how many of the 25 cars we actually get for qualifying tomorrow is a bit of a moot point, given the damage and mechanical dramas that one or two have had at the frustrating early end of the Greater Bay Area GT Cup free practice session.